Renu Rana Rana.
On this occasion I will convey the history of Jochi Khan. Jochi Khan was a Mongol army commander who was the eldest son of Temujin, and presumably one of the 4 sons by his principal wife Borte, though issues concerning his paternity followed him throughout his life. An accomplished military leader, he participated in his father's conquest of Central Asia, along with his brothers and uncles. There is some question as to Jochi's true paternity. Shortly after Borte's marriage to Temujin, she was abducted by members of the Merjik Confederation. She was given to a certain Chiljerbok, who was the brother of the Yeha Chiladu, as a spoil of war. She remained in Chiljerbok's captivity for a few months before she was recovered by Temujin. Shortly afterwards she gave birth to Jochi. By all accounts, Temujin treated Jochi as his first son, but a doubt always remained whether Temujin or Chiljerbok was his real father. Jochi's descendants, although they formed the oldest branch of Temujin's family, were never considered for the succession in claiming their father's heritage, and there were signs of estrangement between Jochi and Temujin. In 1207, Jochi conquered several of the forest peoples in Siberia, extending the northern border of the Mongol Empire for the first time. On behalf of his father, Jochi led 2 campaigns against the Kyrgyz, in 1210 and in 1218. Jochi played a major role in the Khwarezm War of 1219–1221 in Central Asia. His forces captured the towns of Signak, Jand, and Yanakant in April 1220, during this war. Subsequently, he was given the command of operation against the city of Urgench, the capital of the Khwarezmian Empire. Here the siege of the town suffered delays because Jochi engaged in extensive negotiation with the town to persuade it to surrender peacefully and to save it from destruction. Jochi's brother Chagatai regarded this action as militarily unsound. Chagatai wanted to destroy the city, but Temujin had promised the city to Jochi after his victory. This difference of opinion on military affairs deepened a rift between Jochi and Chagatai. Genghis Khan intervened in the campaign and appointed Ogidi as the commander of the operation. Ogidi resumed the operations vigorously, capturing, sacking and thoroughly destroying the town and massacring its inhabitants. The differences in tactics between Jochi and Chagatai in early 1221 added to their personal quarrel about the succession. To settle the matter, Genghis Khan called for a Kurultai, a political and military council, a formal meeting used both in familial matters and in matters of state. Genghis Khan had one election/appointment as Khan of his tribe during a Kurultai, and he called them often during his early campaigns to garner public support for his wars. Such meetings were key to Genghis Khan's legitimacy. Tribal tradition was also critical. As Genghis Khan's firstborn son, Jochi was favored to rule the clan and the empire after his father died. At the familial Kurultai called in 1222, Chagatai raised the issue of Jochi's legitimacy. At that meeting, Genghis Khan made it clear that Jochi was his legitimate firstborn son. However, he worried that the quarrelsome nature of the two would split the empire. By early 1223 Genghis Khan had selected Ogidi, his third son, as his successor. For the sake of preserving the empire, both Jochi and Chagatai agreed, but the rift between them never healed. Their rift would later politically divide the European part of the Mongol Empire from its Asian part permanently. During the autumn of 1223 Genghis Khan started for Mongolia after completing the Khwarezm campaign. Ogidi, Chagatai and Talyui went with him, but Jochi withdrew to his territories north of Aral and Caspian Seas. There he remained until his death and would not see his father again in his lifetime. Genghis Khan had divided his empire into khanates among his 4 surviving sons during his lifetime. Jochi was entrusted with the westernmost part of the empire, then lying between Ural and Irtysh rivers. In the Kurultai of 1229 following Genghis Khan's death, this partition was formalized and Jochi's family was allocated the lands in the west up to as far as the hooves of Mongol horses had trodden. Following the Mongol custom, Genghis Khan bequeathed only 4,000 original Mongol troops to each of his 3 elder sons and 101,000 to Talyui, his youngest son. Consequently, Jochi's descendants extended their empire mostly with the help of auxiliary troops from the subjugated populations which happened to be Turkic. This was the chief reason why the Golden Horde acquired a Turkic identity. Jochi's inheritance was divided among his sons. His sons Orda and Batu founded the White Horde and the Blue Horde, respectively, and would later combine their territories into the Kipchak Khanate or Golden Horde. Another of Jochi's sons, Shirban, received territories that lay north of Batu and Orda Zulus. Genghis Khan had made Jochi responsible for the supervision and conduct of the community hunt. Hunting was essentially a large-scale military exercise designed specifically for the training of the army. It frequently encompassed thousands of square kilometers of area, required the participation of several Tumans and lasted anywhere between 1 and 3 months. Rules and procedure of the conduct of the military exercise were encoded in the Yasa. Certain incidents hint towards the fact that Jochi was of a kinder disposition than Genghis Khan, though the adjective, kind, must be interpreted by the standards of his times and milieu because Jochi also engaged in massacres of civilians. On one occasion Jochi pleaded with his father to spare the life of a son of an enemy chief who had been taken captive and who happened to be a great archer. Jochi argued that such a great archer could be an asset to the Mongol army. Genghis Khan brushed aside this argument and had the captive executed. In 2019, researchers uncovered genetic evidence supporting the claim that Jochi was Genghis Khan's first trueborn son. Scientists found that the Lu clan of northwestern China, which claimed descent from the 6th son of Genghis Khan Togun, largely belonged to a Y-chromosomal haplogroup closely related to one frequently found in the Tor clan from Kazakhstan which claimed descent from Jochi with the time of divergence 1,000 years ago. This result could however, also arise by different avenues of shared paternity or by Y-chromosomal sharing between Chiljerbok and Genghis Khan. Jochi's son Berk was among the earliest Mongols to convert to Islam. Among his other descendants were Ozbeg Khan, Toktamish and Hasai I Jire. Under Jochi's son Batu, Mongol rule expanded to its westernmost limit, and the Golden Horde was established to consolidate the Jakadulus. Ozbeg Khan would later oversee the economic, military and political golden age of the Horde and presided over its Islamization. The first mention about his mausoleum is found in 16th century Shurafnami Shahi, describing the 1582 the campaign of the Abdullah Khan II. That's the history that I can convey this time. I hope it's useful. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe.